Welcome to the walkthrough video of round 2 of Stukent simulation. Now in round 2, again as in round 1, we need to create one ad campaign and then we need to create 3 new ad groups within that particular ad campaign, and then we need to write at least one ad for each of the ad group. Now this is not dissimilar than what we did in the first part of the simulation or round 1 of the simulation. Only thing that is different is optimize 3 landing page, right? So here we can see landing page optimization. Landing page optimization basically is optimizing your landing page so that it is relevant to the consumers. When somebody clicks on a link, or in this case when somebody clicks on your ad, the page that they will land on is the landing page. Now the landing page has to be very relevant to the keywords or the advertisement that you created, because if the consumer clicks on an ad, the consumer expects to reach a specific type of page. If the consumer does not reach the page that he or she is expecting to reach, then they will just bounce off of your page, right? Which basically means that they will just close your browser and then leave your page, which is not something that you want, because Google is again keeping track of how often that happens. If that happens regularly, Google thinks that your ad is not relevant to the consumer because your landing page is not where the consumer wants to go, right? So you have to also optimize your landing page. So let's click on here the optimize 3 landing page. Now here we are going to sell the 3 products. Like in the round 1 we're selling 3 products, right? So what we can do here, so there's pages. Now we can select a particular page, what we're selling. Let's say we were thinking of GoPro Hero 4 is one product that we were selling, right? So we just click on GoPro Hero 4 and then it takes us to the next step, where is design, right? So which design do you want to select? Do you want to entice the consumers to buy the product right now? Do you want to send them to a place where they are going to do research? Do you want them to send them to a place where there is features, right? So you can select whatever you want, and for example's purpose, I'm selling buy product now. So if I select this, then I can create the landing page. Now of course, when you are creating the landing page, I hope you've already taken the landing page optimization class, which talks about how you go about optimizing landing page, right? And I would just basically say focus on unique value propositions and call to actions, because for this particular page you are trying to sell a product, right? Because you're trying to sell it, you need to have calls to actions and unique value propositions on why they should buy. So you've done it for 1, right? And then it says optimize 3 landing page, so we optimized 1. Now we go back and then we select some other product, let's say for Canon, right? For the design, we can select brand information, hero product or grid product, right? So here if I click on something, there's Canon, of course the name is very, very important. Product specs, you can put whatever product specs you want here for your product. If you have social media message, put it here. Because this is a Canon's brand page, right? You're not selling a specific product, you are reaching this particular page. Because if you look at the landing page that we selected, right? So here in terms of the pages, this is a GoPro Hero page, so this is a product page and it showed me a different option, but this is a Canon page. Now Canon is a brand, there is no camera called Canon, right? So Canon is the brand, and that's why it took me to a different page. Now let's do Canon Rebel T5i just for comparison. So here if I do this Canon Rebel T5i, then it's very different than if I select Canon, right? So let's select Canon T5i because that's one product that we are selling. For here also I'm going to select this. Now you, depending upon your own objectives, will select something else, right? Save and then click optimize. So you have created 3 landing pages, right? So here it's now clicked, which basically means we are done with this particular step. Now the next step is create one ad campaign. Now it's similar to what we did in the first round. Now here we see that this is the round, which is the practice campaign that we created for the first round, where I had to set up a budget of 4,700. But now it's asking me to create one ad campaign, which I will do by clicking on the new campaign. Let's say I'm going to, so for the new campaign, let's say I'm going to sell Nikon cameras, right? So I create a Nikon campaign, and then I put in a budget of, and as you know, the total budget is 5,000, right? So let's put this 2,500 here. Now if we go back to the campaign, we see that the Nikon campaign is $2,500, right? So in terms of the overall campaign, I have two campaigns that are running. One is $4,700, one is $2,500, which is going to be more than the $5,000 that is allowed. So I'm going to reduce this to 2,200. This is keeping in mind that I may have an email campaign running as well. So the total is again $4,700, right? So I have two campaigns. Now I need to create ad groups. It's for this Nikon campaign, right? So now the campaign is Nikon. Now I need to create ad group. Now let's say for Nikon, I'm going to create Nikon DSLR, Nikon D5300. Let's say that's the camera that I want to sell, right? So default cost per click, bid of $1. Now I need to keyword search, right? So let's search for some keywords for Nikon. So here I'm searching keywords for Nikon, and we see that if I type in this keyword, I see a bunch of words. Now some of them have high competitions. In terms of monthly searches, again, you need to keep in mind that if you are buying keywords that have low search volume, then not many people are searching using that keyword, which means your results might get low, right? So you need to decide which keywords that you want to select. So I'm just going to select randomly, but you need to keep in mind which keyword that you are going to select. So I'm just going to select all of those randomly, but you make sure that you are selecting the appropriate keywords, right? Now for the Nikon ad group that you created, you also need to create ad. As we said, for this particular product, you need to make sure that it reaches the product that you are selling, right? Because this ad is about 5,300, you need to make sure that it's 5,300. Now again, create the headlines, do the descriptions, right? Save. Now you've created an ad group. Now you've created an advertisement for the ad group, right? So now you need to repeat this. It says create 3 new ad groups. You created one ad group, right? Nikon D5300 was one ad group. Now you can create another ad group as well. Let's say this is the other ad group that you are creating, right? This is the camera. So, and then whichever product you are trying to sell, just create the keywords that you think are appropriate for it, and then whatever product you are selling, use that. So now you have 2 ad groups, right? Let's create another ad group because it's asked for 3 ad groups. Right, now again create ad. Now I'm just doing this because I already talked about this in the round 1 walkthrough video. Right, now what do you have? You have a campaign. So here if you click on it, you see that you have 2 campaigns. One was the previous round 1 campaign, the round 2 campaign, right? And then within the 2 campaigns there are 6. So if we click on this one that we created, there are 3 ad groups. In the Nikon campaign there are 3 ad groups, and within the 3 ad groups are 3 ads, right? So for Nikon D5300 is this ad, for this one is this ad, for this one is this ad, right? And the keywords are just keywords that are associated with each of those ads. So for Nikon, these are the keywords that I bought. For this one, these are the keywords that I bought. For this one, these are the keywords that I bought, right? So now we see that there are tick marks in here. So now everything is completed. I just need to review the budget. When I click on review the budget, it shows that the remaining budget is there, which basically means that I should be okay. So now I can run the simulation, submit it, and then the simulation will run. So I hope the walkthrough of round 1 video that you saw in the other video and the walkthrough of round 2 gave you a good idea of what are the things, how the mechanics of the simulation work. Now, as I said, the mechanics is just one part, but to make sure you do well, you need to understand how things work. And for that, I've talked about how to do better in both of the round 1 walkthrough and the round 2 walkthrough video as well. But I have also another video that is put up where I have talked about some of the mistakes that students have made when they have gone through the simulation, right, and how to do better. So take a look at that video as well. Thank you.